Welcome everybody to the Tarotscopes for July 2023. So, can you say retrograde? Let's just say that the good news is Mercury isn't retrograde just yet. But the North Node, Venus, Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto are all set to go back and help us revisit things. So check your charts for 27 degrees Capricorn and you'll find the Pluto retrograde. 27 degrees Pisces and you'll find the Neptune retrograde. Going back from 7 degrees to 5 degrees, you'll find the Saturn retrograde in Pisces, and Venus is retrograde in Leo. So we might not all feel too pretty or alluring. Oh well. The North Node is also retrograding into Aries, but I don't think we'll all feel that quite as much as we'll feel Saturn. So let's talk a little bit about the Saturn retrograde, because that's where I think a lot of astrologers are going to focus for this month, July 2023. Look in your natal chart to find out where Pisces is, and then look for 7 degrees. Saturn is going to say, hey look, I'm not quite sure you learned this lesson yet. If you did, you'll be fine. And if you didn't, guess what? You get another chance. So from 7 to 5 degrees in Pisces, Saturn is going to say, hey look, work harder. Work even harder. Don't cheat, but strive to reach your goal. If you're honest and you learn and you deal with your inner conflicts and you really understand, you will achieve long-term success with this lesson. And you probably won't have to repeat it again. Well, at least not for about 30 years. So think about it. Think about what you have in Pisces, or where this transit is happening, and what lessons you've learned and need to relearn, because it's going to pass back over in a positive direction later in the year. Now on for the individual scopes. Aries, the Magician. Good to see you back on top of your game, Aries, and none too soon, as this month could prove to be a bit of a challenge. Someone you have taken responsibility for, be it a child, a parent, a significant other, or even a co-worker, could really put your strength to the test this month. You may be required to speak on their behalf or even argue some points for them. But take it easy. Remember not to let your temper get the best of you. Taurus, the Knight of Pentacles. Don't worry about things that you've planned that are off to a slow start. Sometimes a lot of groundwork has to be done, and sometimes it takes longer than you expect to build that firm foundation to work from. I think you will have a much clearer picture to work from by the end of the month, and a lot happier direction to be moving in after that. Gemini, 7 of Swords. You need to keep your guard up for just a little bit longer, Gemini. Don't be fooled by those wishing to manipulate you or pull their passive-aggressive behavior on you and try to cheat. You need to make a plan that works for you and then stick to it. Don't let someone else sway you by painting an unrealistic picture, or you may end up losing something important or even going backwards. Be firm. Cancer, 9 of Cups. It could be that you have some big plans that you're putting a lot of energy into. I think it's okay to dream big. Focus and work towards what you're really hoping for. Sometimes, though, other people get jealous or even act hurtful towards you when they see that you're having success. If a person like this comes to mind, it must be better to keep them at bay or keep them in the dark about what's going on until you get closer to where you really want to be. I'm not saying lie. I'm just saying be careful with them so you don't let them influence you and lose your momentum. Leo, Death. Change and renewal. This month brings Mars and Venus for a nice visit in Leo. But remember, Venus is retrograde. I feel you could make some very detailed decisions and work to make the best of these difficult situations. You must remember that you are a positive and loving person. Find energy to be kind to yourself and remember to rest so that you can stay in touch with everything you need to pay that close attention to. In the long run, Leo, you will love the way things turn out. It's just this journey that might not be up to your usual standard of pleasure. You are strong and you can transform. Virgo, the moon. You may find you're a little more aggressive than usual this month. Try to hold back a little bit so you don't end up burning any bridges. You may also uncover some untruths that upset you. But again, work hard to get the bottom of it all in a peaceful manner, or you may end up biting off your nose to spite your face. Above all, be cautious not to repeat any of this gossip until you've verified it to be the truth, because you don't want to share an untruth. You don't want to get caught up in somebody else's mess. Libra, Page of Wands. Sorry, but you might have to revisit some old business that you thought was already taken care of. It should be a little easier this time. You might have some experience with the situation, or at least you've gone around it once or twice and you know who the players are. Be strong and work hard to get your point across. Don't back down just because you don't want a confrontation or you don't want to be seen to be the bad guy. Work to get others to be accountable for their actions and hang tough. Scorpio, 10 of Wands. It seems like you have so much on your mind and you're working hard to accomplish all kinds of things. Keep in mind though, if you keep allowing other people to add things to the bottom of your list isn't going to get any shorter, even though you're working as hard as you can. Think about that list and think about something that might be able to be crossed off that doesn't really belong on your list. It is well past time to make others do some things for themselves. Sometimes helping somebody is really kind of enabling a situation. Maybe time to resolve some things. For this month especially, try to pay attention and focus on your own obligations and get others to deal with theirs. I don't mean you have to be mean. I just mean be firm. You don't really have time to spend all your energy on other people. Sagittarius, Page of Pentacles. Things might really be starting to look a little brighter for you. I know it has seemed like you've been dancing as fast as you can just to stay still. And that should be just about over, and you should notice some real headway. You might think, wow, things are actually starting to move. You will still have to stay very organized and pay close attention to the deadlines and obligations and work to stay ahead of the game. But at least you will not fall further behind this month. And by the end of the month, you will see a brighter way forward. Capricorn, Knight of Wands. Oh, what have you been working for? It's time to get things going and be more like the person you want to be. No more waiting. You have set some hard to reach goals and maybe you're feeling like none of them have really been achievable. But you have to know that's not the truth. You really do have the strength and power and know-how to reach these goals. You are very strong and resourceful, and this is your month to shine. Pick a few things and really take steps. Instead of just making the lists or wishes, give yourself reasonable deadlines. Stick to it. Deal with people who need to be dealt with. You will be much happier once you reach a couple of these milestones. Aquarius, 7 of Wands. When I get this card, I always ask, you ever seen that game Whack Them All? You know, where you have to focus on 100 things at once and keep them all at bay? All right, well, the good news is you really are in a good place to pay attention to all of those things. You will keep your head above water. You will notice the game player is wearing green, the color of prosperity and wealth. And I predict that you are going to get everything done that you're working on and even have a little bit of energy left over for yourself. And maybe that'll be a little bit of extra money too. Saturn, your ancient ruler, could bring you to a new place in life these next few months. Try to make the best of the changes that arise and rise to the decision making. Pisces, 9 of Swords. Your current situation may be very worrisome, but look to keep things clear in your mind, like the deadlines and the seriousness of your responsibilities. Remember to think about solutions, because I always say, worrying is manifesting in reverse. It does no one any good. So focus on a plan A, a plan B, or plan C. You are strong and resourceful, and I'm sure you'll come up with many clever solutions. Remember to think positive. So that's it, everybody. The Tarotscopes, the good, the bad, and the ugly for July 2023. We'll keep an eye on all of those retrogrades, but for now, I think understanding where the energy is coming from helps you to kind of deal with it and move forward. That Saturn retrograde is going to be the biggie for the rest of this year, so think about where it's going off in your chart. 7 to 5 degrees, going backwards, this month in Pisces. Find it, look at it, think about what just happened as it went forward to try to offer you a lesson, and now you get to redo in case you made any mistakes or would like to change anything. Take good care, everybody. Peace and blessed be.